What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tubeway Army, and we're returning to the 1978 self-titled album. I did just want to confirm on camera that we're going to go through replicas next. I know I mentioned Pleasure Principle by name, and not the other Tubeway Army album, as I think I referred to it in the previous video. Yeah, but bottom line, I assure you, we will go through replicas before returning at long last to the Pleasure Principle. In any case, yeah, we're back to the self-titled album, and the next track in the track listing is Every Day I Die. It sounds very stark and dramatic. It makes me think maybe it could be social anxiety and dying in that psychological way, you know, feeling insecure or at least uncomfortable in the presence of others, and perhaps because, you know, feeling that eyes are on you or that you're being perceived in a way that is not representative of who you are, how you feel, or even what you're saying. So yeah, Every Day I Die, it gives me that sort of atmosphere, vibe, the idea of feeling like not fitting in, whether that's in a, you know, occupational setting or a social circle, or just in the world among other human beings more broadly. I suppose, you know, there could be a different metaphorical usage, but obviously if you're dying every day, multiple times, you know, for years on end, we're probably not talking about biological death. So, yeah, curious to hear in what way the figurative sense of death will manifest, but let's find out. This is Tubeway Army and Gary Numan, of course, from the 1978 self-titled album, and the track is called Every Day I Die. Inescapability of it. Yeah, a short one. I feel like that was what, like 2 minutes? 2.5? Yeah, just about 2.5. Yeah, that was cool. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. But yeah, it definitely sounds like there is some sense of inescapability, or this closed circle that one is just caught in this loop of dying, but I'm still not sure exactly the manner in which that may be relevant. But yeah, the sonically, it was a really interesting one. Again, it's one that feels less, overtly electronic and synth heavy. It feels more rock based, but it's interesting. It felt a little folk rock here and there. It was reminding me at one moment of, what the heck is the song name? It's like Mellow Yellow by Donovan. So yeah, like the rest of the tune didn't really hit me in that way, but there was a moment where I was like, like that's making me think of that song. So yeah, it was a really interesting one sonically. It didn't feel as post punk, angsty or anything like that. It felt more, like I said, a bit folk rock. There was a funky groove in the low end during a couple parts. So yeah, like I said, need to listen to some more thematically. I'm sure some people will comment. Shout out in advance. But yeah, enjoying the ride through this album. I'm interested. People have talked about replicas. It seems like there's at least a few people who perhaps think that one is even a better Tubeway Army album. I am curious, what some people are thinking. Do they prefer the Tubeway Army stuff overall to the solo stuff from Numan, or is it basically they're just two different? Because sometimes people ask me that related to like techno, like different labels or like different types of tracks even. And it's like, man, I guess I could maybe force myself to really try to rank them, but at the same time, it's kind of like different paintings by different painters. It's like, well, that's really great, but it's apples and oranges, So if that's how it is, I would totally understand that. But I am curious if there's a notable sense among people who follow Numan's career that the Tubeway Army stuff is particularly great, or if the Numan solo stuff in the early '80s is the real golden period and so on. So if you have an opinion on that, do let me know. Let me know what you think of this track. And yeah, I don't think we're near the end yet. I think there's at least a few more. But again, we will go on to replicas once we finish this. So in any case, let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.